Hello, this is Compound Interest Stock Guide. Today in this video, we're going to be talking about SPY tickers that I'm going to be watching. So stay tuned. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. It's in the red on the bottom below the screen. Hit the thumbs up. Appreciate it. Leave a comment down below. Share the video with friends and families. Appreciate it. I also want to disclose I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment, information purposes. Do not buy or sell based on anything I'm talking about. Buy or sell after you did your own research, due diligence, and you like the investments you're pursuing. So I'm not going to be doing a live stream tonight. I don't know if I'm going to continually do any more live streams until if my channel grows bigger. Then I'll do it when there's 5 to 15 people that come in to live streams. That's when I'll start doing them, but I'm going to just take a break from live streams, so I'm not going to do one tonight. So, yeah, if you want me to do live streams, I guess tell more friends and family about my channel, and then, I'll be more enticed to do a live stream. But until then, I'm not going to be doing a live stream. So, anyways, let's get into this. So, I use this at investing.com. I use this, and, I'm very intelligent with my math skills, so the reason why I look at these things is I want to see what the moves are. I want to look at how much volume. I want to add up the share price, and then see. So when you look at Moderna, 46.85, and then you got 32 million shares were traded. Well, then you're talking over $1 billion in shares of volume, of value that were traded on that day. So to me, that's saying that the Fed or big institutions are pumping big money into the company. So you still got to read the charts. It doesn't matter how much money gets flooded into these companies, the stock can still go down. So, but I'm just saying though, those are the ones that are most likely to, really pump up faster, because they're all Fed fueled. The Feds, they funnel money. They've been funneling through the repo, and now they got QE, so it all just gets passed on to JP and like Citigroup and Bank of America, and then they just purchased a bunch of shares. So let's get into it. So MRNA, it's pretty high. So I looked at the chart earlier. I'm not going to look at the chart right now. So I'm thinking maybe it can go to 55.60, but it's going to have a sharp, drop. So I'm not going to play it. I'm more necessarily looking for a put. If it goes to 55.60, I'm going to be looking for a put, maybe like 2 to 3 weeks away, maybe $5 to $10 below. And then, I'll see. I'll take it by year. I'm not saying I'm necessarily going to do a put, but that's my bias towards playing MRNA. Now with BA Boeing, I got my 2 contracts, one 175, another 190. May 8th, May 15th is the 190. So I got some time on that, but the values have gone up in price. So it'll be interesting. I'm hoping that it can go to 160, 165, 170 this Monday. The things we need to watch in the market are really the crude being up, and the 10-year bond going up, and then any news on the vaccine and all that stuff going back to work. Then that'll be stock market positive. That's what I'm hearing from my sources. So that's just the way I'm gonna play it. Citigroup has a lot of volume and value. I haven't played Citigroup before. I have been eyeing up JP Morgan. You add that together, that's about $3 billion in value. So you can tell big money's playing with JP Morgan. So I'm definitely eyeing up them. Maybe they're going to go to 120, 130 in the near term. Maybe I get like $105 strike. We'll see. I may not play it. Things have to be right. The options contracts have to be right. The time I sense that it's going to go up in the right direction, I can't be late on it, I got to be fast and quick and decisive. The same token, if it looks as though it's going to go down, I'll look at a put, $5, $10, $15 lower, maybe even $20 if you get like 2 months out or something like that. That's what I'm going to be eyeing. You buy to open and you sell to close for doing a call or a put. That's just how it works, and I'm going to be eyeing up that. I'm learning a lot about these options. The more I practice them, and the more you learn a lot on losses. So, you lose lots of these contracts. So just the thing that I'm focusing on is playing with the big players, which these are the big players that I'm sharing with you guys. So hit that like if you haven't hit that like as well. Let's get this video going, pumping. So this is some very valuable information. So Bank of America, I do have a $33 call till, I want to say maybe August or September, maybe September. So, I got time on that. May not hit that by that, maybe, but, it does seem to be running up. So I had a $29 call before, and I made money on that, and then I just put I rolled it over to a $33 call. Bank of America's got a lot of money. You add up that together, that's $2 billion of value. Manulife, not the same value, but it did have a big spike. That's 36 million. So it's not the same level, right? So these are where you got this big, powerful momentum. Rockwell Automation, they're talking about robotics in USA. So, whether this goes up right now or in like 6 months or something like that, when more manufacturing makes contracts with Rockwell, if they start doing more business from China, like they take away the China manufacturing and put it into USA, which they intend to do, then they're going to probably want to use Rockwell Automation in a lot of their facilities. Hyatt, I don't really have an opinion. I'm bearish, but it could still go up, just funny money. RBC, I don't know, it's hard to say. I'm bearish on the mortgage situation, but they're gonna get funneled money, so I think it can go up higher, but I'm not gonna say if I would buy or sell it. I'm just not in that position yet to have an opinion. Now you look at Starbucks, that's about $1 billion in value. Their business is being very affected hard right now with the way things are going, because only one of the 5 Starbucks in my town is open, and it's only open via drive-through. It's packed through drive-through, don't get me wrong, but how much are you making? When you had you had like three drive-throughs before in my town, and 2 stores, and now you only have 1 drive-through. Even if the 1 drive-through is way busier, it doesn't negate the fact that they're making a lot less money. So my thinking is, at the end of this month, because a lot of the earnings are coming out in these big companies, so at the end of this month, I think some of them are going to sell off a little bit, and then I'll just reassess the situation. But that's my thinking. These stocks are going to hit a plateau very, very soon. I'm thinking sometime at the end of the month, and that's kind of when it's going to drop down a bit, but I don't think it's going to drop down significantly. It just have a minor correction. It could change very, very rapidly, where it's going to drop like significantly harder, but I haven't seen any real evidence that it's going to just drop back down to the previous lows. So until I see the direction change, then I can reassess the situation. But right now I'm biased towards the upside in these companies, but it could change tomorrow morning where I'm like, oh shit, the whole market's going to drop hard. So I mean, it's just it's a hour by hour, minute by minute, day by day. So all right, so Eaton is another big automation company. So if they want to do more robotics in USA, I mean, they could have big contracts with this company. iShares is IWM, so it's the big junior companies in that connected with like the S&P 500, just big companies in USA. So big junior companies, I mean. So Target has a lot of volume, and that's about $1 billion. I mean, I don't really have an opinion because I'm bearish on the whole retail in a lot of sense, especially right now. But it can definitely, it can go up. But I'm not gonna play that moat. I need to understand my thesis before I enter a position. I want to have strong conviction before I enter. I mean, there's some people out there that would be like, oh yeah, it's at 4 cents, it's at 25 cents, it's at $1.50, and it's being $25, so it's just magically has to go up. The market doesn't work like that. The market, it'll skin and cut companies. It just does. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to that it has to go up. I mean, in a perfect world with rainbows and sunshine, then sure, but we don't live in that world, so to expect that, you got to understand thesis, you got to have conviction in the market, and you got to understand you could be wrong. And when you're wrong, you got to get the fuck out. GTFO. Get the fuck out. Like, say you're down 10%, you get the fuck out like when it's going really against you. That's just a way to conserve your money. You can always re-enter when the trade looks a lot better. I mean, I'm not saying you got to take it out at 10%. You could take it out at 20%, 30%, or 35%. But you have to have some type of system where you tell yourself, okay, I'm getting out of this position now. And you can't deviate from that, because you have to be strict with your discipline, because a stock be at like $15 and all of a sudden now it's down to like 90 cents. So now you're down like 90% of your money. So, if you got out at 35%, you would have a fair amount of money. You could buy 10 times the amount of shares that someone who stayed till it's 90% down. So, I mean, that's just effectively, you got to be disciplined in the market. So Sanofi's a big pharmaceutical company. So, I mean, they may be in play. I haven't really looked at them. They don't have a lot of volume, so I'm not really that eager, but I keeping it on my watch. These are all different ones, and some companies I know a lot more about than others. But if company I just don't understand, what I do with my watch list, I just click the X. I'm out, because I want to be like, group it all in together and understand these companies at a very strong level. And if I just start to not understand some of these companies, and I just don't have the time to understand every company. I mean, maybe it'll come upon a time, then I'll re-add that to my watch list. But for now, it's like, you just gotta keep it simple, stupid. That's like KISS, KISS, keep it simple, stupid, So Eli Lilly is a big pharmaceutical company, so that's about $500 million in value. J&J's got, 1.5 billion. So they're definitely at the top of the leaps for pharmaceutical. I mean, I was looking at it just recently, and it was like 140, 130. So, it's definitely gone up a lot. PepsiCo, 137.55. That's about 700, 800 million in value. So, I mean, you're looking at a Pep. I mean, look at a Pep. To be honest, I haven't looked at the chart very strategically, but I wouldn't be against having a short to long-term call option. And the same token, I could do a put for I just gotta read the charts. But I like these big companies because they don't have such like random like moves generally. I mean, they do still have random moves, but they generally trade at a lot more like reliable level. When you look at the charts, it's just like things make more sense, you know. It's not so choppy. Whereas when you play like penny stocks, it's like oh, it's at 7.5 cents, it's at 7 cents, it's at 6.5 cents, it's at 9 cents, it's at 7.5 cents, it's at 8 cents, it's at, you know. So it's like really schizophrenic. Whereas when you're playing with like big numbers, I find it's like a lot more reasonable than the way it trades. I mean, it can still move like a lot. It can move $5, $20, $30, $40 in a day. And if you're talking about Amazon or Google, I mean, those things can move hundreds of dollars a day. So something to think about. iRobot, IRBAT. I mean, not as much volume as the, you know, Rockwell. I heard Abbott Labs had some type of cure. So, I mean, they didn't have much movement, but who's to say? They may have a lot of movement. And, you know, Apple, they got a down guidance. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, maybe they go down a bit. I think their financials will be very down. So, I mean, you know, when they come around, they could very much, like, drop very hard. So, that'll be definitely interesting. I mean, I may want to get a put position in, like a 2 to 3 week time frame just to play the downward. But, you know, I want to understand when their financials are. So that's a work in progress. Now with United Health, they're one of the big players on the Dow now. On my last video, I talked about the Dow. It's this video right here, the Dow 30. So I'm just go through the percentage. But anyways, it's big players. So you add that together, you know, that's about 1.5 billion in value. So it's definitely a lot of money that gets flooded into that company. So now you're talking about HSD. This is bear for the SPY. And then this is another one, SPXU, which is bear on the SPY. So, I mean, you can play these positions at a small level, right? You don't have to be like completely bear on the whole market. You can just play it as like protection, right? So say you're like 60% bullish, but then you're 40% bearish, where you can play that insurance, right? So, you know, you could put 5 or 10 or 15% of your portfolio into one of these. And then, so when the market goes down, you're still getting some gains somewhere. So, I mean, that's a way to hedge your bets. So let's get into American Airlines, AAPL. So this is on the weekly for candles, and you know, it's kind of coming up on the RSI, and a lot of volume. I mean, it needs to have a very big spike in volume for it to go to $15 and $20 in buying volume. Now on the daily, it's a little different. It says it's bearish, but I don't know. It'll be interesting. Maybe it wants to push up to 15, or maybe it comes back down. I mean, I don't know. Looking at the RSI, it's like it looks like it wants to come up to go to like, I don't know, like up to here maybe. So that would probably bring the stock up to about $13, $14, $15. Now if it wants to come back to 30, that's like a resetting. It would probably want to come back down to like 9.50, 10. So I mean, that's just something to look at. AAL, need some water. Anyways, yeah, so AAL is just kind of just moving around, and it's just kind of coming back up. It seems to want to, but you know, this could be just look like a fake out, and it could just like bottom down to like $6 or something like that. So definitely something to look at. Now with the SPY, you know, it went outside the Bollingers, and this is on the weekly. So then it came back on the next week, and then it, you know, just coming back. So right about here, I was like, yeah, it looks like it wants to come back up here. So right about here is like the middle of it. So, you know, this would be an interesting time if it wants to push up or come back down, because, you know, for all we know, it could just do this line where it could just be like, ooh, follow that. And then where it'd be like, it wouldn't get through there, and then it would just be down here and here and here, and then before you know it, then it would just like get like really down hard. So it would go even lower potentially. So I mean, it's definitely something to watch. I mean, I'm not against selling positions that you're up on. I think that's not a bad idea at all. I'm going to be looking to take profit this week as well. So anyways, that's pretty much what I got to say. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. Keep compounding your info. Listen to my lingo and Sheka. Peace. I'm Audi 45 and I'll play some music before we leave. So A to the O.